Yeah, have you ever taken the Briggs-Meyer test before? What is that? Maybe I should do that on stream. That's a good idea. It's a gay test? Wait, is it a test to check if you're gay? Well, can I just... Because the reason why I don't want to do it... Here's the reason why. I don't want to do it because I'm... At the end of it, I'm going to have to give them my email, right? Like, they're going to want my email or something. No? Okay. You regularly make new friends. Agree? Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. It doesn't... It's like, it's too basic of a question. Usually feel more persuaded by what resonates with emotionally. Disagree. Living in working spaces are clean and organized. Disagree. Actually, I'll go to like right there. You stay calm even under a lot of pressure. True. Yeah, I did. Networking, promoting yourself to strangers, very daunting. I think that's kind of an agree. Okay, you prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well behind a deadline. If I want to, I do. If I don't, I just don't really care. But when I try to, I do. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers and data. Huge disagree. You like organizing tools and schedules and lists. Huge disagree. Small mistake cause you to doubt abilities and not logic. That's an agree. After me saying I should kill myself because I missed one snipe in Battlefield. You feel comfortable just waking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Massively disagree. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. I kind of agree, but like not really. It kind of depends. You prioritize facts or appeals. Okay. You allow the day to unfold without any schedule. It's okay. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression. Okay. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Generally disagree. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. It depends. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. Completely disagree. You actively seek out new experiences or knowledge areas to explore. I generally disagree, not always. You're prone to worrying about things that will take a turn for the worst. Huge agree. You enjoy... Okay. You can't imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. Huge disagree. You favor efficiency and decisions, even if it means disregarding some... Okay, that's a huge agree. You prefer to do chores before allowing yourself to relax. That's actually an agree. In disagreements, you prioritize... And if you don't believe me, every time I go to my dad's, like, you guys... People might not know this, but, like, I actually help my dad with, like, cleaning up. Like, I'll change his sheets. I'll do a lot of stuff, like, you know, vacuum his house. So, while my own house isn't clean, his house is. Yeah, his house is clean. And I always tell him, like, I just want to get everything done so I can just sit down and relax. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. I disagree. I don't care. You can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. That's a general agree. Your mood can change very quickly. Depends. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. Agree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Huge agree. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Huge agree. You often prefer to be around others rather than your own. What? That's a disagree, I think. You become bored and lose interest when discussion gets highly theoretical. Generally disagree. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. Ooh, that's a no Peruskis for me. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work and study schedule. I've been live at 1 p.m., 12 to 1. If this was any other point in my life, I would say yes, but not anymore. I do it. I lock in and I do it. And I've been consistent for years now. Go back one page, the top one. No, I gave the correct answer. I don't try to prove my point. If I can see that somebody's feelings, I'm actually not very insistent at all. You preserve feelings? Absolutely. If somebody disagrees with me, that's not my problem. Yeah, that's the way I look at things, right? I mean, like, so you don't give an answer based on stream stuff? Well, I'm talking about, like, how do I act in my personal life? I try to be empathetic and nice to people. I try to be nice. I know, it's so gay. I'm big gay for being nice. But I do. I genuinely do. You disagree with chatters all the time? This is a show. I'm talking about my personal life. Like, obviously. You can't, that's why I said you can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. When somebody tells me that they had a near-death experience and they talked to God, I'm going to be like, that's crazy, okay. I'm not going to tell them no, or it was your brain playing tricks on you. You rarely second-guess the choices that you make. Yeah, agree. Absolutely agree. Never second-guess myself. Your friends will describe you as lively and outgoing. Ooh. Ooh, that's a no Peruskis for me. Ooh, real bad. Top of this page. You usually prefer around to be others around others rather than your own. Disagree. Well, yeah, I'd rather be around friends of mine, others rather than your own. That means, like, I mean, this question is a bad question because the implication is being around strangers versus your family, but it could also be interpreted as being by yourself on your own. Oh, I can't read. Okay, I'll slow down from now on. I did this a lot in high school. I would get questions wrong because of this. I remember one time in 5th grade, I did my test. I speed ran my test. And I did it in like 15 minutes. And my teacher graded my test in front of everybody. And he showed all the things that I got wrong because I did it and I speed ran it. And he's like, wow, it looks like Speedy Gonzalez missed a few, huh? And I was like, yeah. I remember that really well. Speedruns, yeah, lesson not learned? No, but it is, oh, I'm aware of it. You're drawn to various forms of creative expression such as writing. Huge agree. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Huge agree. You likely have a to-do list for each day. I hate to tell you guys this, but I have my day, I've already planned out my entire day. So, this is my day for today. Asmongold's day for 8/10/2025. Wake up. Jerk off. Stream here. Lay in bed for 30 minutes. Get a massage. Go to McDonald's. Reportedly Uber Eats. Depending on the time, either dad or eat first. Eat, yeah, while watching a video on my tablet. Lay down again, get up, and play video games. Probably Wuthering Waves, Wu Chang, and maybe start KCD2 again. Okay, go off again. Brush my teeth. That's my day. I've already planned out my entire day. Really? That's where we're at, bro. You need a girlfriend? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go back to the fucking test, okay? Let's go back to the test. We're gonna finish the test. You rarely feel insecure. I never feel insecure. You avoid making phone calls. I wish I could click right here. Bro, I'd be clicking over here. I hate phone calls. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. No. I don't give a fuck. Absolutely not. I don't want to hear anybody else's fucking opinion. You easily connect with people you just met. I'll be honest. Totally agree. I have no problem. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Absolutely agree. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. Yes? No, not really. No, not really. You're not too interested in discussing theories on what the world will look like in the future. Well, that's a huge disagree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. That's a huge disagree. When making decisions, you focus on how the affected people might feel rather than what is the most logical or efficient. Huge disagree. This is my biggest disagree. Absolutely. Yep. Honestly, yeah, I do not care about how people feel if I feel like it's in their best interest, and if it will negatively affect people, it doesn't matter. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy. This used to be true. It's not anymore. I lock in, and I do it. I do it, and I do it, and I do it, and I do it, and I don't stop doing it. That's it. If someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed in you? Totally disagree. I never even think about that. I don't think about what other people think about me, really. I know it sounds weird as a streamer for me to say that, but like whenever I meet somebody that doesn't like me and I know doesn't like me, I'm like, well, hey, it's nice to meet you. Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's overthinking. Exactly. Well, yeah, you would love a job that requires you to most work alone. You agree that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time? I generally disagree, but I do think philosophy should be graded based off of how applicable it is to real life. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet and intimate places. It depends. If I could live anywhere in the world, I have to say, though, if I could live anywhere in the world, I would live in New York City. Why? I think it's really cool. I think it's fucking badass. My family's from New York. We're from New York ever since before America was America. Yeah, I'd go back. So yeah, and you don't like Texas? Well, no. I mean, really, like, I would never leave Texas because this is where like all my friends and like, well, actually, I mean, I would probably like in the future I'll probably have a house out in Florida too because I have family out in Florida. But other than that, I mean, no, I like, but like, you're talking about like the aesthetic of an environment, right? We're not talking about like personal circumstances. I'm talking about the aesthetic of an environment. I would like to live in New York City. And you like the hustle and bustle of the city? Yeah. And I also like the fact like you go out at like 3 in the morning and there's shit going on, right? Yeah, that's it. 100% white? Yeah, 100% white. Like I'm just 3 different versions of white people, right? That's it. I'm not part black as far as I know. I'm not part Hispanic, part Asian, part Jewish, part Arab. I am 100% white. And that's it. And so, if a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. Generally true. Not always true. I would say most of the time. Right? Like, I generally, like, I just make it up, right? I just make shit up as it happens. Agreed? No, yeah. I would say, like, a gut feeling. Yeah, my main source that I use for decisions is myself. They say, oh, did you research this? Yeah, I thought about it. And based off of my own personal experience, I've come to the I've come to the conclusion that I'm right. That's how I've always, you often feel overwhelmed. Huge agree. You complete things methodically without, I already fucked up the test. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. Huge fucking agree. That's why I love Dark Souls. You're more likely to rely on emotional intuition. Huge disagree. You struggle with deadlines. Nah, generally, I don't, kind of in the middle. You feel confident that things will work out for you. It depends. I would say mostly green. Male. Okay. All right, y'all ready? What if it tells me I'm gay? Bro, what if it goes and tells me I'm gay? Can it do that? Okay, all right, let's see it. ITNJA. Thought constitutes the greatness of man. Man is a reed, the feeblest thing in nature, but he is a thinking reed. Oh my God. As an architect, you present a rare combination of vision and pragmatism. Your analytical mind constantly seeks to understand the world around you, driven by an insatiable curiosity to desire and improve systems. You approach life with a strategic mindset, always look several steps ahead, and planning for various contingencies. I think that's kind of true. Your independent nature is one of your defining characteristics. You value your own autonomy and often prefer to work alone, trusting in your judgment and abilities above all else. That's true. I don't listen to anybody. Like, even whenever I was like 8 years old, my parents would tell me you should do this. I say, you can't use a computer. What do you know? A teacher says, this is what you're going to need to learn to do whenever you grow up. I said, well, you don't even know how to use a keyboard. You want me to listen to you? You're retarded. If you were so smart, you wouldn't be here. Yeah, your mom was a computer expert? Yes, she was. And this self-reliance combined with intellectual prowess lets you tackle complex problems with confidence and innovation. Yeah, well, there we go. Holy shit. What should I be? What career should I have? In your professional life, you thrive on intellectual challenges, the opportunity to implement your innovative ideas. You excel at roles that allow you to utilize your strategic thinking and problem-solving skills, often gravitating towards fields like science, technology, or business strategy. True. Your ability to see the big picture while attending crucial details, your preference for working independently, and dislike for office politics can sometimes hinder your career progression. This is a good test. That's about right. Yeah, strengths and your weaknesses. All right, what are my weaknesses? Discomfort with networking. True. Ignoring social dynamics. True. Overly blunt feedback. Actually not that true. Frustration with constraints. Probably half and half. Generally true. Reluctance to delegate tasks. True. Impatience with routine. Sometimes true. Yes. Your weaknesses: avoiding emotional exploration, too rigid of expectations, discomfort with ambiguity, hesitance to seek. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a good one. That's pretty accurate. I'd say so. This is very accurate. This test says nothing about being gay. Yeah, I don't think it's about your relationships. Okay. Your weaknesses: you're gay. Wait, what? Insensitive to emotions. True. Avoiding social rituals. True. Withdrawn under stress. True. Difficulty sharing vulnerabilities. True. Critical communication. What is this? Occasionally harsh or overly direct remarks. Might unintentionally wound others. This is not true. I'm actually very nice to people. High relationship standards? Nope, not true. Not true. I can deal with hoes all the time. Not a big issue at all. But yeah, there we go. That's my personality right there. Think of different kinds of relationships. They all end the same. They all end the same. It's all the same. That's a strength. It depends, right? It really does. But 79% introvert. Yeah, I'd say that's probably about accurate. Something like that. So yeah, that's my test. Okay. Was that fun? You guys have fun doing that? Wow. Wow.